So, I just posted a video of fixing this hose that was cut right here. I attached a new end to it. If you want, I'll put a link to that. But basically, this video is about a lawn like this. I don't know how well it's showing up in this video, but basically, there are it's mowed, so they're not as obvious. But there's just weeds everywhere in this lawn. And I feel like, I don't know, it could be overwhelming just seeing this, but in the chemical spray world, there's two main breakdowns of, well, there's more than two, but there's different ways that the chemicals go about killing the weed. And it's luckily, I guess, for us, there's chemicals that kill things with a leaf, as they say, that won't kill grass. So if you can spray them on your lawn, and you can actually kill the weeds without your grass. It's pretty awesome if you've never heard of that before. They also have a combination of sprays where they'll put things like nitrogen or chemicals inside that will help the grass grow. Also helps the they call them broadleaf, something with a leaf, they call it a broadleaf killer. It'll kill broadleaf, and it'll actually help the broadleaf. It can help the broadleaf absorb the poison, essentially, better by putting in the chemicals that actually help the plant grow. It's kind of ironic that way, but it's kind of like, this is kind of brutal, but it's kind of like putting poison in a cake. Because the poison wasn't just the poison itself, it's gonna, whatever it's gonna want, the cake's gonna eat it way faster, because it's in the disguise of a cake. So basically you put the poison in the nitrogen, which nitrogen helps plants grow. It's just an example of something that may be in there that would help the plant. It will absorb the poison faster and it'll kill it better. This is what I'm using. All it really is going to be a broadleaf killer, and you just attach it to your hose like this, and then you've got a nozzle on the top, and you're just going to go on and just make sure that the whole lawn is covered with this, and it should kill the majority of the broadleaf and leave your grass okay. You might have to do it more than once. It does seem like that's just the way it works. It doesn't always work perfectly the first time, but yeah, that's the way it goes. It's really not that hard. Another thing is, let's look here. Does this say? Yeah, I would just look for whatever you get. It should say, like they almost always will say on the front, what is in it. Let's see here if we can see here in the active ingredients. It's just like food. It'll tell you what's in it here, or a supplement. It'll tell you. Anyway, you can basically compare between sprays in your store, between weed killers in your store, what the percentage of the ingredients are, and you can kind of roughly have an idea of, you can compare costs. If one's really expensive, sometimes it's actually a better deal because it will be a more condensed version and will do a better job. Here's another example here. So this is brand name Roundup, and this will kill anything. You do not want this on your grass. Let's see here. So, for example, the active ingredient, and it's not. I don't believe this is unique to Roundup. You can find other brands that have glyphosate. Sorry. In them. This, you can see right here. It's 18%. So you could compare. Like sometimes there's a generic brand that you can get a higher percentage for a lower cost, or the same for a lower cost. Because yeah, like I said, Roundup's like Nike, where it's a name that people associate, and you kind of end up buying the brand itself, the name itself with it. And from my experience, the name means nothing. In reality, it's the, you know, it's not like people lie about the percentage of glyphosate they put in there. But anyway, this would be a good like edger. Like I'm probably gonna do this, I don't know if you can see from here, but like along my sidewalk, right along here, there's all those weeds. I don't want grass or broadleaf on that row there. So I just want it dead. I don't want plants coming out of the sidewalk there. So that's probably what I'm going to use there. But it's very important that depending on the way that you go about it, by the way, this is what I would probably use, because you can see the difference in containers. That one's made attached to your hose. It's so easy. Just turn your water on and you can adjust the valve on the top, how much flow you want. You don't need anything except for the jug itself. This one, you know, obviously doesn't have a way to attach the hose, and it's pretty condensed. So you're gonna have to have a way to apply it without, you know, something else to apply it from, and you're gonna have to measure the amount. That is just gonna, it's just gonna measure itself. Basically, there's no way to measure how much is coming out effectively. So this is what I'm gonna use with my Roundup. And basically, you know, this just pumps. You can pump it up with air, and you've got a little nozzle here, and it just sprays out, and it'll kill anything in its path. And it's important, of course, if I was to use something like that doesn't kill grass, after I'd used my pump with this Roundup, for example, there's a chance that I could be killing the grass because it would have some leftover. I think that's obvious, but just something to be aware of. Like ways around that are doing your broadleaf on your grass first before the wide everything killer, or, you know, making exceptionally sure that when you clean out your jug and you clean it out, you clean out your air pump, and you clean it out somewhere where what's inside of it isn't going to get on stuff you don't want to kill. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna start with this here and cover this lawn and see. So I've got that screwed on pretty tight, and then I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my water here, which obviously is leaking a little bit, I see. And we're just gonna go over here, and it says, see if you can see that, but it says on with the arrow that way. So we're gonna just slowly try to, oops, see there's a lock. Can I do this one-handed? There we go. There we go. So, just like that, we're just gonna spray the lawn. So I need two hands to do this well. Okay, but that's the way it works. I've got my tank sprayer there. I've got it just a little under 3 gallons. According to this, it says 6 fluid ounces per gallon of water. And so they've got this measured out on there. There's a line on the side there that will shows 6. So I'm gonna have to dump 3 of these in there for my 3 gallons. And here we go. Let's try to do this. And as you can see, I'm doing it on cement because if you know, if I did this in the grass and any spill, it'd kill it. So, but it's really that simple. So I'm just going to fill that up again. Just, you know, regular lead. Fill that up again. And another thing with almost all of these, the way these work is usually the instructions are inside of a tab like that. Like there's usually multiple pages. But one thing that I'm not giving a good example of is I should probably be wearing gloves. This stuff isn't what I would consider extremely dangerous. I did actually just read a study that was talking about how this glyphosate was linked to kidney issues. I do not think spraying your lawn with this is going to give you kidney issues. This is more for farmers and people that, you know, spent their lives spraying the stuff that were having issues. But I would wear gloves. Like, you want to be as healthy as you can be. You know, try not to get it on you, do it in the wind where it's blowing all over you. And you wouldn't want to do it probably in the wind anyway, because you know, you don't want the stuff to drift. If the wind blows it on your grass, you know, that you like, it's going to kill it. But anyway, that's the basic idea with this glyphosate, in this case Roundup, which yeah, I'm in this, everything I spray this on. Okay, so I've got it up to my 3-gallon line there, and I basically just got to put my handle on here. It doesn't need to be too snug, but it obviously needs to be snug enough that it will hold a seal. It looks like I've got my handles on there, but give it some pumps here. And the way these handles often work, at least this one does, is it locks in there so that you can walk around with it like that. This guy's a little old, so hopefully it works fine. It looks like it's gonna. Anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna walk around in it. And one other thing of note is it says to thoroughly soak what you want to kill. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Anyway, you can see some pretty nasty overgrown weeds here. So hopefully we'll get those along with the sidewalk like I pointed out earlier.